Welcome back to Mompreneurs, the real deal, where we are getting real and raw with Stephanie Tsuru from SheSpace Houston. And we have been talking a lot about SheSpace and about the community of women that it is, that it empowers, and just how Stephanie created it. And I would love to know, Stephanie, going from healthcare to to then starting your own business at 59, nonetheless, you're a mom, you're a grandma. How do you balance all of that? How do you balance your entrepreneurship with being a present mom, being a present grandma? How did that start? How does that look today?
I don't usually use the word balance. I usually kind of use the like shifting focus. So like I'm all in during the day here. I'll take time out if my kids call. I will take time out if my niece and nephew call, because I'm also a very involved auntie. So I've got all that going as well. So I will say it's easier as a grandmother than as a mother. So being a mompreneur would be really tough because the responsibilities are so heavy as a mom. And I think I have a little bit more leeway, although if I would have thought of this idea and if I would have had the opportunity and lived in a place, I would have done this 30 years ago. It wouldn't even have been a thing, but it was just as needed then as it is now, or maybe even more so. I am very good at managing my day and managing my time and this is what I'm going to do these 3 hours and then 2, and like it may have to shift around, but I'm very good at setting boundaries with what to do with my time. But I will always take time to talk to a woman that needs time to talk, always. But I'm pretty good at not working past like 6:30, and if I've had a whole day of being out in the community and I need to return emails, I'll make exceptions. But I am pretty firm about not working at home after like 6:30 at night. So I don't mind putting in a 12 or 13-hour day, but then I got to take care of myself. So, and I've got to eat, and I've got to walk, and I've got to take care of my dog. And I have a lovely husband at home who's very supportive. And I think those are the things that actually keep me balanced. So like, I don't intentionally work to balance, but I think having all those things in your life is what keeps me balanced. I think it's a little bit opposite of what other people say. So today my focus is all on you. Right now, my focus is all on you. And early this morning, it was all on working on some programming, and it's Friday night. So I'm not going to be working tonight. So I think I'm just really good, but also I think I'm very wise and I have earned wisdom, and I understand that this stuff is still going to be here if I want to get back to it Sunday afternoon. Nobody is going to die if they don't get an email from me in the next 2 hours. So I think it's, you know what it is? I think it's confidence too.
Yeah, that's really beautiful, and you are working and you are existing in your passion. You've blended your passion and your purpose really beautifully through what you're doing. And it sounds like it's about staying grounded and focused and present where you are. But you also have involved your family in your journey because of your partnership. And so what lessons have you learned that you've been able to share? Any strategies that you've been able to share? Because of course she's in a different stage of life. So I think that would be really beneficial for our viewers. Like, how do you involve your family along in your journey? What lessons have you learned and what you share, so that she can take advantage of the wisdom that you've got?
So I have my daughter-in-law, and then I have 2 daughters. So, but when people say, how many daughters do you have? I say 3, because I just count her in there because she's like a daughter to me. But my ultimate responsibility, I think, not just for my girls, but for all women younger than me and actually my own age, is to be a good role model and to set an example. So I have always worked, but I've always been an incredible mom, and I think I'm a great grandma. And I think they look at other women my age and younger that stopped doing other things and just did what their family needed. And I think they look at my happiness compared to their happiness and my level of fulfillment. And I think I don't even have to say it. I think they're just all watching. I think like they've been very proud to have a mom that went to work, that could still be at the swim meet, that could still be at the track meet and all these things. So I expand this out of my own family. Like I think all the women here are my family. So they're watching me. And they watch what I do. And I think the biggest example is that when you're 53, if you want to go back to college, you can. If you're 59, you can open a business if you can. But what I'm going to talk to the women that are my age now. So what I hear most is like, oh, I could never do that. I'm like, why? Why could you not do that? And when I went back to school, oh, I would love to do that. I just couldn't do that. So I think without saying anything and just by living my life, I hope that there are women out there that are making good decisions and starting to believe in themselves. Well, I mean, I know they are in my circle, but I hope I'm impacting other people. But I still hear all the day, I could never do that. And I'm here to tell them that they can and just to let them watch.
Well, and that's so important. I think leading by example is, it's so important as a mom. It's so important as a woman. Like we've talked about, having the self-confidence, showing other women that it is possible. And, there are so many people that I see who struggle with their passion, women that I see that struggle with their passion, especially when it comes to raising a family at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it is important that they see people like you who, I mean, you worked the whole time, and then you started a business. And so it's, and you're so happy and you're so balanced. And what do you say, or not balanced, whatever,
I am balanced.
I think you are balanced. Yeah, I think you are. I think the word that I would probably use is you have really good boundaries around your time. And I think that we've talked about it a lot on the show before, just how important that is. And I'm curious, what would you say to other, mompreneurs who are struggling to draw those boundaries and to really settle into, enjoying all of their life?
I think you have to try it and then not feel guilty. Like I don't ever feel guilty about stuff. I just don't feel guilty. I feel like I make really good decisions, so I don't have to feel guilty about poor decisions. Not that I haven't made poor decisions, but generally speaking, I live my life in a way that I go to bed at night and I was like, yeah, that was a really good day. I did everything I could. I feel really good about the decisions I made. I really think you just have to try to set a boundary about something, whatever it is, like not working after 6:30, not working on Saturdays, setting aside 3 hours with your kids, 3 hours with your grandkids, and then keeping to that. So start with one little itty bitty part, and I promise you're going to feel really good about it. And then it will seep into other parts of your life. So what I will never have is a regret in my life. So I decided that early on, I am not going to live my life with regrets. So when my kids graduated from high school, I'm like, I am going to watch them walk across the stage in high school and not say, oh, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. I don't have that. I do not have that. I was the best mom I could possibly be. I'm the best wife. I'm the best grandma. I'm the best businesswoman to the best of my abilities. I don't have regrets. And I think people that live without boundaries have great regrets.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And so I just want to reiterate for everybody who's watching, because I think it's really powerful. There's no space for guilt. When you make a decision, the decision's made. even if it's a bad decision, the good news is you can make another one tomorrow. But what I picked up from this is set a boundary, no matter what it is. Pick one thing and draw the line in the sand and say, this is what I'm gonna do, no questions asked, and leave the guilt at the door, because we've talked about guilt in Mompreneurs before. We've talked about the emotionality, but we don't have any space in our lives for it. How do we show up? If we know that we showed up and I gave my absolute best to the best of my ability, and I did it from a space of caring, love for other people, then there really is nothing to feel guilty about. There's really no space for any of those negative emotions. So if you learn nothing else today, I think that was a really powerful lesson, and I'm really grateful that we had that from you, Stephanie. We do have to take a brief break, but we'll be right back after these messages.